What up, my friends? Day 152, by the way. No excuses 2024. I got a couple of things on my mind. So I was thinking about media bias, and I had someone ask me the other day, like, how did you become so jaded about the left, the right, the media, especially, and our government agencies? And I'm like, well, started paying attention again. I've had times where I was really paying attention, like after 9/11 and things like that, you know. But what I tell people is, I had to start after you just see one lie after the other, right? And from the same news readers, right, the teleprompter readers, because then none of them are really journalists. We don't have any real journalists on TV. They're all like defense contractors, war experts or whatever, defense experts, and health experts, but none of them really do much other than sit on television, right? And it doesn't matter which side of the coin you lay on, right? It's the same coin. So you get the media bias on the right, you get the media bias on the left. Now, most of them, over and over again, repeatedly, have been proven to be wrong. That's why I tell people, I said, look, take 20 minutes a day and look into something that you truly believe in. Like I looked into the Kyle Rittenhouse situation, right? Well, whatever you believe about that doesn't fucking matter, right? I did research into it. I did research into the COVID thing, into the Russia collusion thing, into, Hunter Biden stuff, and all those experts that said that all these things were either fake, real, or whatever, all proven wrong, are still on those same news shows telling you what to believe, depending on what side of that coin you lie on. Most people, they're like, well, I don't have enough time to do the research, so I just listen. But like most people, even the ones that say that they do research, they see the superficial clickbait title, right? With the synthetic controversy, right? And even if you read like the first couple, 2, 3 paragraphs, it's usually this media bias, right? Experts say that or whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever the speculation is. And then as you read down, they tell you what the actual information and story is, but it's like, they dismiss it. It's like all the times when they're like, oh my God, these wildfires are out of control because of climate change and blah, 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 blah. And then a couple weeks later, they're like, well, actually, it was an arson. But it was made much worse by climate change, right? So whatever agenda they're trying to push, and I get it. People are like, well, they don't have an agenda. They're just telling you. No, there's an agenda. 9 billionaires own the 20 media companies, right? Something like that. It's crazy. And, we're supposed to believe them this time. But that's what I'm saying, right? Go into something that you've had a long held belief in, read a bunch of stuff, maybe not necessarily just the mainstream stuff, the stuff on Substack. I mean, you go on Twitter, you can search it and then read like several different articles by different, organizations and stuff, and then you make your own decision. And like the best case scenario is you actually learn about the topic that you're supporting, right? Whatever the cause is, if it's Gaza, if it's Israel, if it's Ukraine, if it's Russia, if it's this, it's that, George Floyd, BLM, MAGA, whatever it is, taxes, anything, right? BlackRock, whatever it is. The best case scenario is that you're going to have a better argument for people that don't understand or have the information that you have, that don't know the truth, okay? Worst case scenario is you have to admit that you were wrong and that you have a bias, right? And that's okay. We all do, but you have to learn to recognize it and understand that the truth is out there. It's just not usually in the clickbait title or the first couple of paragraphs, or even not even the first top 2 or 3 searches in Google or whatever. You have to keep going down. Read some of those too, read them all. But like I said, the worst case scenario is that you're like, fuck, I was wrong. And then you change your mind with new information, right? And then once you do this several dozen times, or even after a dozen times, you're like, fuck, what else are they lying about? You know, so people, they ask me, why are you so jaded about, you know, mainstream media and our government institutions and this and that? It's like, well, because I've done the research, and just in the stuff that I've read about, I recognize where they were lying, you know, intentionally lying, right? Or misinforming people for, you know, a narrative, and who knows who paid for that narrative, right? Brought to you by Pfizer. Oh, McDonnell Douglas. Like, you can't buy anything from McDonnell Douglas, right? Why are they advertising on MSNBC, CNN, and Fox News, right? I'm just saying. You know, 9 out of 10 experts agree with whoever's paying for the, you know, funding the research. But like, once you see it, and then you see it over and over again, you know, like the same people lied us into Vietnam, lied us into Afghanistan the first time, lied us into Afghanistan the second time, Iraq twice, right? Iran back, you know, in the 50s and all that, and all over South America for U.S. fruit, and, you know, these different oil companies and rubber companies, McDonald's, like all this stuff, right? Once you see where the slant's coming from, you know, and you know that they lied about all these other things, and they never come back and recant. You know, that's why I appreciate people that can come out and be like, oh shit, I had that wrong. Like Jeffrey Sachs, like, you know, he's come out and been like, wow, I was wrong about COVID, I was wrong about this, I was wrong about the origins, you know, the CIA, this, that, and the other thing. And like, I can respect that, you know. I mean, I agree with a lot of stuff that he says, but even if I didn't, I can respect somebody coming out and being like, hey man, fucked up, you know. What I thought to be true was not. And now I'm fixing, you know, I'm rectifying that situation. And people don't do that, you know. Because the ego strike, right? You're like, fuck, I have to admit that I was wrong. You know, when I was talking all the stuff about 9/11 and Saudi Arabia and Iraq and, you know, the fake weapons of mass destruction, and they're lying us into this again, and then the financial crisis, and, you know, how that started, and where, you know, this and that, and blah, 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 Syria, like, everybody thought I was crazy, right? And some people still do, and that's fine, and I am a little bit crazy, but, like, as they find out that I was right, nobody comes back and goes, wow, man, I was wrong about that, you know? Like, I haven't heard one person, you know, about this Ukraine situation be like, wow, you were right, it did start back in 2014, or even further back, 2007, and then Victoria Nuland, and blah, 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 you know what I mean? The Maidan coup, and, you know, I had long-held beliefs that I thought were true for so very long. And then as they started getting shot down, I can't believe anything that they say anymore. It doesn't matter. Do I still watch it sometimes? Sure, I watch clip shows, I'll watch a little bit, you know, and sometimes they do leak out a little bit of truth, right? But you have to be able to critically think about what's going on in media and in your head, and where your biases lead you to untruths and beliefs and stuff that is not real. You know, because you want it to be true. I understand people hating Donald Trump. I get it. I was once there too, right? But like, what I can't see is how people are still supporting Joe Biden. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, fine, you can dislike Trump, but to be like, oh, Biden's doing a great job. Him and Kamala Harris, man, top notch. Everything's going great. They keep telling us everything's going great, so it's got to be going great, even though I can't afford toilet paper or pet food or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, just say, look into shit yourself, and then, you know, as you start seeing the lies, your eyes start opening up, and you're like, fuck, I was wrong about almost everything. They were definitely wrong about almost everything, but see, they weren't wrong, they were lying. That's the difference, you know. You and I, we might be wrong, but hopefully we're not lying. All right, man, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.